So I'm recording this right where my dog is, and so if she jumps in front of the camera, I'm sorry. But she's shaking the whole bed, so this is how this is gonna be. Okay, starting with prompt 1. A story that you or your family's never seemed to be done with. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start with, my grandfather had prostate cancer, and when he had to go in for surgery, he had to have a catheter, and he had to have a catheter for a very long time. Sorry. So when my family went on a trip every year to North Carolina, it was our vacation, and but it was before my Uncle John passed away, who this story is also about. So I don't know what year it was, and I don't recall being on this trip. Quite possibly it might have been a year that I could not go for school or something like that. I'm not sure, because we never really planned it around anyone's schedules. It was just like, hey, we're going on this time. If you can come, you can come. So my uncle and my pap were in the same room, and these houses we were renting, they all had, bunk beds mostly. For the most part, they had bunk beds. So my uncle was on the bottom bunk because he was very old and there was no way he was climbing a ladder to get to the top bunk. And my grandfather was on the top. This is my great uncle, and my grandfather, so obviously my great uncle was older than him. So my pap decided to play a trick on him one night, and he snaked a hose from the bathroom where he plugged it into the sink and, twisted it on and everything, and snaked it through into the bedroom and underneath his mattress on the top bunk. Because, as somebody with a catheter and has problems using the restroom properly because of his prostate cancer, there would be a tendency to wet the bed. So he had, pads for the bed, and usually, he would trickle up if he's going to be in a situation where he needs to, but so he snaked it under the mattress, and my Uncle John did not notice, thankfully, or this prank wouldn't have worked. And that night, Uncle John went and used the other bathroom, because I guess this bathroom was maybe not in service or something, because it just makes sense how the plug-in wouldn't be noticed. And he's laying on the bottom bunk, and my pap's on the top bunk. I guess he said something along the lines of, I gotta go to the bathroom. Sorry, I don't mean to wake you up, sorry. So he goes to the bathroom and he turns the faucet on. Very, very, very low. Like, he doesn't want it to go everywhere. He wants just like a steady, slow drip, if anything. And so he comes back and he lays in the bed, and about 20 minutes later, like that's how long it took, 20 minutes later, my pap's there, he's waiting, and all of a sudden he hears, what the hell? He jumps up, like this old man, like 80-something years old, needs a walker, jumps out of bed. What the hell? He's wiping his face. And my pap goes, what happened? And my Uncle John, practically runs to the bathroom. And my pap's there, he's trying so hard not to bust his gut. And all of a sudden he hears, Puh! Puh! And he's, drinking water. Puh! My pap was just dying. Oh, Uncle John did not find that funny in the slightest. That story was not his favorite. So there's that one. Let's see. I guess I'll talk about a meal that I've never forgotten. So in 2009, my Aunt Marcia passed away. She was my great Aunt Marcia. And she was somebody I was very, very, very close to. honestly, she felt like she was the glue of the whole family, because when she passed away, literally the entire family just, like, split up and stopped talking to each other. So, when I lived in Pennsylvania, because that's where I'm from, the house that I lived in, literally her house was, like, right down the road. And I used to go over there frequently. We used to have dinners over there really, really, really frequently, because my other aunt also lived down the road, so all of us would come to her house and have dinner. And there's been times where, when I was younger, she would actually teach me to cook. Have a whole recipe book of things that she taught me. And a dinner that I won't forget is a day that I cooked, I'm pretty sure it was meatballs. We cooked Italian meatballs with spaghetti and homemade sauce from the tomatoes in our garden. Sorry, she's moving the camera. And I think I had gone up there at like 2 or something like that day. And we cooked meatballs. It was just such a special thing for me in general to have her teaching me, because she was such an important figure in my life. And then that night, when everybody came to dinner, we were all sat at the table, and her husband, at the time, I'm not gonna call him my uncle because he's kind of the reason my family fell apart, but he liked to take pictures of every meal that we would have that I helped cook, to put into the cookbook, so that I had like a little piece of that memory with me always. And I was picture my pap is eating the meatballs and he's going, and then every picture after that is of him, or of everybody making the same face that he did, just going, because he had food in his mouth when he was taking the picture. But it was a fun day, a very fun memory, and it includes a lot of people that I love. So it was just, it's a really good memory of a meal that I experienced with my family. And then, oh, right, election. So, can you tell I'm excited? So, I guess I'll just tell about the first time that I voted, because the first time I voted was not something I wanted to do. I find that, a lot of people are like, you need to vote, get your voice heard, and I don't really care about elections at all. And I know that people are going to bash me for it, but I don't care. I don't care to vote. I don't like anybody that ever runs, because I feel like they're all pompous, stuck-up assholes. So I went to vote for the first time while I was here in Texas. And the year that I did it, obviously, I wasn't going to, and I had my whole family, did you vote? This is the first year you can vote, 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 vote. And I'm just like, I don't want to vote, I'm not interested. But my mom was going to do her vote, and she said, well, you should vote since you're here. And I'm like, I don't want to. And so she literally stood at the front entrance of the door, where, the safest distance they're allowed to be, and I stood there and begrudgingly wrote in my vote. And they gave me a sticker, and my mom's like, you need to take a picture with your sticker to send to the family. And I'm like, I don't want to send it to the family. She's like, well, they'll stop bothering you if you send it to the family. So I put it on my forehead, and I went, My family's like, did you vote right? Did you vote who we wanted you to vote? And I'm like, does it matter? I voted, didn't I? I mean, I did vote who they wanted me to vote for. I didn't like them. I don't care who I voted for. And I'm not voting this year. Judge me! So yeah, those are my